Definitely time to get a new helmet. Because when you expect your helmet to dim and it doesn't, and you're staring at a full-on arc, it really sucks. Not going to be able to finish that. Need a new helmet. I'm going to take it apart and see. Maybe it's battery inside or something. I thought it was purely solar, but we'll see. Because I can't keep going like that. I'm going to blind myself. I'm not sure how this comes apart. The only screw I see is this one. And that's for the dimmer. Shush, kitty. I'll take the headpiece off. Just cause it'll give us more access. How does this come out now? It must pop out the front. Okay, yeah, there's the latch. The latch, let's see if the camera can see it. One here, and one at this adjuster. So, there we go. It is already broken, so I shouldn't be afraid of breaking it. It looks like there's a thing here for something to come off, but it seems like it's all glued together. Doesn't really seem like it's a serviceable piece, but we'll try anyway. I'm gonna go get a razor blade. It doesn't seem to want to come apart. Maybe there's screws behind this thing. Probably not. Probably all glued together. It seems to be coming apart a little bit. Not that that means anything. And like I say, it's probably not serviceable anyway. If there's a battery in here, I would be surprised. Hey, what are you doing on the table? Get down. Get down. Get down. Get. What are you doing? Get off the table. Come on. Why are you so cranky? That's the wrong tool. Alright, so it's this piece that's coming off, and it does appear that it is just breaking the glue free. Oh, there's a battery in it. Cool. That means I could fix it, potentially. 2 batteries. Oh, and they're soldered in place. You know what? I'm not going to mess with that. I think I will send this to another YouTuber. I'm going to try to find out how. I'll buy myself a new one, a good one, and yeah. Well, not good by like Chucky 2000 standards, not that kind of good, or like Metal Tips and Tricks, Jody. Just good by my standards. Yeah, as I was saying, probably with a couple of batteries, this would work perfectly fine again. But I kind of don't trust it now that it almost blinded me a couple times. So yeah, time for a new helmet. Why do all GoPro mounts seem to snap here? This is like my third or fourth one, and it's an actual GoPro mount, not just a cheap knockoff. The plastic is ridiculously brittle. I've got one of these things, and it has one of these removable lads. So I'm going to try to attach the GoPro mount directly to the top of this to have a nice secure mount. I'm going to use one of these and attach a mount for a GoPro to the top of this with a bolt. In order to do that, I need a short bolt with a 1/4-20 pitch thread, and I don't have one with a shallow enough head. It has to fit in this recess, so I've got to take a little bit off of it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Fortunately, I have a lathe that should make this pretty quick work. I think that will do it. I also think that I cut down the wrong end of this first, because now that I cut that end, it's going to be really hard to grab it and cut the other end. Alright, now I have to see if the camera mount will screw into that, or if that will screw into the camera mount rather. So, the camera mount is on the camera, so I'm going to stop filming for a second. So this is what the finished mount looks like. It attaches to the GoPro case in the same way they all do, like this. And there's a bolt that goes through the bottom of the piece that fits on this guy. So now I can simply use this thing to set my camera on, which I do most of the time, is I will just sit the camera on here or up on the shelf up on here. But this gives me the option to slide it into this guy. It just locks in like that, and then the GoPro case goes in here, and then I can carry this around or mount this somewhere, and it gives me a lot more options on where I can place my camera. Because this tripod thing has adjustable legs, which are very adjustable, I can use it as a selfie stick thing or whatever. I can carry it around. I can use it to hold the back handle up, and then I can, hold it down like this. Show you guys stuff like that. And it makes it a lot quieter, I'm sure. Normally when I have my hands on the case of the camera, because the speaker is up against the case, Any little movement that you make makes a very loud sound when recording. So this, I'm assuming I can move it around and it's not going to make huge noises. If you see here, if I touch the case, I'm just very lightly rubbing it. I'm sure that made a lot of noise. And anyway, yeah, that's the end of this project. So now on to the next thing.